Hey folks, this is Matt once again, and I realize I've been watching quite a bit of comedies lately. I haven't reviewed a lot of them, but I wanted to see this film again. One of my favorite comedies of all time, Stripes. Definitely my favorite Bill Murray film. Definitely my favorite film directed by Ivan Reitman. I like Ghostbusters and Meatballs, but this is my favorite, Stripes. And this is the extended cut, where they have contains 18 extra minutes featuring 6 deleted scenes. The main deleted scene is like Bill Murray and Hal Ramis. They want to leave the army, and they sneak onto this plane. And Hal Ramis' character has accidentally taken acid. And one thing leads to another, and they're dumped in the jungle. And they meet up with this group of people, and they're about to be killed, but the acid is put into the stuff that everybody drinks. And Bill Murray gets out by saying "Quando, quando, quando, quando," something like that. And they all start saying. Bill Murray and Hal Ramis sneak off. That's like 7-8 minutes, and you have like a couple other little ones. I also have an hour-long documentary, which is pretty cool. But who doesn't know Stripes? I mean, Ivan Reitman directing. Like I said, Bill Murray, Hal Ramis. You had John Candy, John Larroquette. You had small roles like Judge Reinhold. Team part by Timothy Busfield. It was, I think, his first film. P.J. Souls and Sean Young. Just a hell of a cast. And of course, Warren Oates and Sergeant Hulka. Bill Murray has a bad day. I mean, he's driving a taxi cab and has this bitch of an old 40 woman. And like, man, would you like to eat your luggage? Gives him shit, and he actually hits his balls. Like, oh, my balls, my balls. And apparently that actually happened in real life. Hence that was an improv line, because he actually hit his balls. Because there's also a commentary by the director, Ivan Reitman, and the producer. So he actually hit his balls. And giving him shit, and he's like, oh, it's not the speed. Must have been all that cough syrup while he's driving, freaking her out. Decides to quit his job, loses his apartment, his woman leaves. You can't leave, all the plants are gonna die. And Harold Ramis comes in. Okay, Harold Ramis' first scene where he's teaching a class, people English. It's like, does anyone know any English? Oh, you know a little English? Sono beach, sheet. And they're all just like, Sono beach, sheet. I don't know why. I love this film to death. I mean, Bill Murray basically convinces Harold Ramis to go into the army. But before that, he's in the apartment. Like, I love the sight gag where he's with the basketball. He slams it out his fucking window. And Harold Ramis is like, oh, okay. So what's going on? Bill Murray tells him what happened. He's like, oh, still got your health. Bill Murray's like, hey, hey, give me the ball. Smashes right through the other fucking window. Thank you. But I love Bill Murray's performance in this film. He's funnier than shit. Harold Ramis is a great foil for him. Awesome straight man. And it's kind of like, I know Bill Murray's kind of a weird guy, but he's actually a pretty funny guy. I mean, he bitched about McG, so he can't be that bad of a guy. I bitch about McCheeseburger too. I don't know, I like the fact in the comedy they say that Bill Murray, he would not do the film unless Harold Ramis was with him, because they're good friends. I thought that was pretty cool. And weirdly enough, this film was actually meant to be a Cheech and Chong movie. I even got the idea, Cheech and Chong in the army, and went for it. But Cheech and Chong, I think mainly their manager, might have been their manager actually, wanted a little bit more control. And Ivan Reitman, couldn't do that, so he changed it and made Stripes. I think for the better. I love Cheech and Chong, but I'm much better, that we have Stripes. And them getting in the army, there's so many great things about this flag. You know, you have the group of people, like you have the guy who's don't call me Francis, my name's Psycho. If anyone touches my stuff, and I kill him. If no one touches me, and I kill him. Warren Oates is Sergeant Hulka. I think this is one of the... I think he died a year later, because I think he did Blue Thunder. I'm not sure if it was... I know he didn't live a lot longer after this film, which is too bad. I'm not sure exactly when he passed away. But he was a great job as Sergeant Hulka, their sort of drill sergeant. And Elmer Bernstein does a beautiful job on the score. Unfortunately, Elmer Bernstein, he also did score the Ghostbusters. He's no longer with us, Elmer Bernstein, but he did a great job. I can't help it. I could just gush about this film forever. I mean, the misadventures through boot camp, you know, we're like a foot. And Sergeant Hulka is that big toe. And he's like, tomorrow we'll show what the big toe is, or we'll shove it up your ass. Like, I'm paraphrasing, but see the film if you want to see how it's done right. But John Candy, he's also missed. Awesome person, awesome personality in any of his films, including this one, as Oates. And like when he gets his hair cut out and Harold Ramis makes fun of him, going, Hare Krishna, and he slams like, how come you got so much hair? And now of course them training for graduation, and Bill Murray's like, cut it out, it doesn't matter with you, stupid. He keeps going, like, we're American with a capital A. Our forefathers were kicked out of every decent country. We're underdog, we're mutts. See? His nose is cold. Like, who saw Old Yeller? Who cried when Old Yeller got shot? Nobody cried when Old Yeller got shot. I cried my eyes out, and John Candy fucking raised his hand. And he talks about, like, we're all stupid enough to enlist in the army. We're mutants. There's something wrong with us. Something very, very wrong with us. We're soldiers. But we're American soldiers. We've been kicking ass for 200 years. We're 10 and 1. I can't help it. I love the fuck out of this movie. And PJ Souls, of course, you remember from Halloween. Beautiful. There's actually a deleted scene where you actually see PJ Souls' tits, and a deleted scene later on where they have this what is it, the EM50. It's like an RV, but it's like a tank as well, because they pass a graduation, they go in, and they have to look after this EM50, and Bill Murray's like, hey, let's see the girls, so they borrow it. But of course they think they've stolen it, so John Larroquette, the asshole, leads them, and they get captured, and Bill Murray and Harold Ramis and the girls have to go after. Well, before they go after them, they're having fun, and you see PJ Souls' tits. Nice. I also like the scene when they're going to go after. He's like, Bill Murray's like, it's Czechoslovakia. We're not going to Moscow. It's like you're going to Wisconsin. Harold Ramis was like, well, I got the shit kicked out of me in Wisconsin. I didn't like it. I mean, just so many great bits. I mean, John Candy, they're going to the club where they have the mud wrestling, and Bill Murray's like, come on, you're a killer. You're a lean, mean fighting machine. And it has the mud wrestling with the women they're doing cheap shots on him, but he wins and grabs all their tops. I did it! Dun, 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 dun. But I said Judge Reinhold's in there as a character, Almo, and Ira Reitman said that in the old script, some of the jokes he had for Cheech and Chong, he gave it to that character, sort of like a druggy type character. But so many great bits, like John Larroquette. They really go with nudity in this film. You see a lot of tits. So, I mean, this is, comedy they don't do a lot. I mean, this was 1981? Somewhere like that. It's a different world back then. Sad to say, I think. But There's so many funny bits. I mean, John Larroquette, I want some action. Pulls the grenade, the pin, hold that. I don't really find anything wrong with it. I mean, everybody does a great job, and in the end, where they have the EM50 and the action scenes, they're fine. I mean, this cool 80s style. I mean, they're going against the Russians, and of course, it's a comedy, so no one's really going to die. But it works. It definitely works for the time. It even works for today, to be honest. But Stripes, I love to death. I mean, not only do you have an excellent cast, you have a great cast. You got wonderful, very funny dialogue. You got beautiful score by Elmer Bernstein. Just lovable characters. I mean, the whole training where, well, first off, when they're, hey, we're marching, do-why-diddy-diddy-dum-diddy-do. Then when they're doing the graduation, it's like, razzle-dazzle, That's the Fat Jack! That's the Fat Jack! What kind of training you been doing, son? Army training, sir! Army training, sir! I help it, it's just... or like when, basically there's a mistake and Sergeant Halter gets hurt, so then they do their training, and when they get over there, Sergeant Halter comes back and Bill Murray goes, "It is a lie." I love this movie to death. I mean, I don't find anything wrong with this movie. I mean, you got tits, okay. Yeah, great dialogue, funny, kick-ass cast. I mean, Bill Murray, John Candy, Harold Ramis, Judge Reinhold, John Larroquette, Warren Oates, P.J. Souls, hot as hell, Sean Young from Blade Runner and from a lot of other flicks, Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. Ivan Reitman as Best, just such a classic. I mean, I could go on this movie forever. And the movie was a hit, that's what I'm looking up. The movie was actually a pretty good sized hit, $80-some million. I guess it came out the same year or same time as Private Benjamin, which I haven't seen. I haven't seen Private Benjamin, but I can easily say that this one is a lot better than Private Benjamin. I know it's not fair, but that'd be my guess. But yeah, when you with Bill Murray with P.J. Souls, like, I'm gonna do the Aunt Jemima treatment, and right on her ass, like putting special, on top of her ass. This is a classic, Stripes. It's one of my favorite. It's definitely been my top 10 favorite comedies of all time, and I just wanted to share that with you. And the extended cut, it's worth a look, because you have two choices. If you don't like it, they have the theatrical cut on this thing, so you can watch the theatrical cut, or if you want, you can watch the extended cut. So you have your choice. Plus, it has a commentary that's pretty decent. I definitely like the hour-long documentary where you have Bill Murray. You got Bill Murray interviewed, Harold Ramis interviewed, Judge Reinhold, John Larroquette, Ivan Reitman, P.J. Souls, Sean Young. They get a lot of people on this one. And Stripes is definitely worth your time. If you haven't seen it, you're missing out. Definitely one of my favorite comedies of all time. So thanks for watching, and take care. 'Cause that's the Fat Jack!